Through the event horizon, journey beyond time, the journey begins towards the unknown gravitational depths. Light is bent, space itself distorts before our eyes. The gravitational pull increases, a silent promise of extreme physics. The Odyssey spacecraft cuts through the sparse outer asteroid fields. Its advanced shielding prepares for the intensifying gravitational flux. The ambient hum of the drive resonates through the structure. Instruments monitor the rapidly changing gravitational gradient. Silhouettes of the crew work diligently, focused on the mission parameters. The complexity of the physics demands absolute precision from the ship's AI. The accretion disk materializes, a swirling vortex of searing plasma. The energy output is beyond previous theoretical limits. The intense radiation signature washes over the ship's outer sensors. Gravity manipulates the path of every single ray of light. These arcs define the boundary where reality yields to curvature. The visual spectrum shifts under the immense distortion. Entering the final zone, the ship's internal systems begin to protest. Temporal readings spike, the familiar laws of navigation break down. We are now subject only to geometry, not navigation. Orbit stabilizes, allowing observation of the strange layered reality. Distant light now travels multiple paths to reach a single point. The ship maintains its delicate balance against the sheer tidal forces. Time itself stretches thin, measured against the unperturbed universe. Holograms flicker, displaying temporal inconsistencies across reality planes. Human perception struggles to reconcile the differential flow of moments. Cosmic rays impact the defense field with tremendous force. The shields shimmer, converting incoming kinetic energy into harmless light. The ship remains protected, a fragile bubble in a sea of energy. Standard calculus fails, the geometry is too warped for precise plotting. The control systems wrestle with impossible vectors. Data streams overload as the Singularity's influence grows. A transient gravitational wave from a distant stellar collapse washes over our position. Light propagates through the momentary distortion field. The Odyssey remains steady as the wave passes harmlessly by its hull. Time begins to fold onto itself, showing history simultaneously. Echoes of moments past occupy the same spatial coordinates. The universe presents its possibility space all at once. Internal navigation charts mirror the external reality's warping. The data attempts to recalculate paths through curved space. The ship's crew remain watchful, bathed in the eerie, shifting light. We pass near the poles, witnessing the massive energy expulsion. Light rays traveling alongside the jets are caught in the relativistic funnel. The sheer speed warps the visual appearance of the exiting matter. The differential gravity begins to stretch matter itself. Spaghettification made visible, the structure of matter yielding to pure gravity. The ship observes this violence from a respectful distance. Shield integrity is maintained against massive gravitational radiation pressure. Micro-adjustments keep the hull within the survivable safety zone. The crew relies on the calculated margin of error. The fabric of spacetime shows evidence of multiple potential realities intersecting. These layers appear momentarily solid before dissolving back into distortion. The cosmic architecture reveals its multidimensional complexity. The ship's AI generates probabilistic outcomes of the mission. Each branch represents a future reality shaped by present variables. The calculations are staggering, illustrating the infinite possibilities. Sensors capture signals that defy current known physics models. These patterns are the language of dimensions beyond our standard perception. The crew records the impossible data for later analysis. Even the dark heart emits a faint thermal signature. This thermal ghost proves the boundary is not perfectly absolute. The radiation signature is weak, yet profoundly significant. We breach the outer perimeter, entering the chaotic plasma fields. The heat and kinetic energy test the structural integrity to its limits. The ship plunges deeper into the maelstrom of superheated matter. Space is no longer a flat canvas, but a folded, swirling dimension. The geometry creates impossible paths and curvatures. The simulation highlights the breaking down of linear progression. Energy scanners register signals beyond established theoretical bounds. The data output defies comprehension, displaying only massive spikes and null values. The ship's AI struggles to categorize the influx of impossible data points. We cross the boundary where light itself is forced into orbit. For a brief moment, light is trapped in our local spacetime. The ship must pass through quickly before orbital capture becomes permanent. Relative to our slowed time, the outside universe rushes into the future. Galaxies become streaks of light in a temporal blur. The difference between now inside and now outside is vast. Even reflections on internal surfaces show the warped cosmos. The visual chaos mirrors the underlying physics. The crew are surrounded by visual echoes of extreme spacetime curvature. The jets unleash colossal energy streams into the surrounding void. The light from the jets travels at near light speed, causing visual distortion in its path. The Odyssey safely observes this celestial fireworks display from a stable point. Multiple orbits completed in what feels like moments inside. The distant universe appears to be running at an accelerated pace. The temporal imbalance is graphically represented by the visual distortion. The darkness expands, consuming the observable universe around us. Only the faint, doomed light of falling matter can penetrate its edge. This is the boundary between our measurable reality and the unknown. In the temporal folds, faint echoes of other histories appear. These alternate realities are fleeting visual artifacts of gravitational stress. Human perception struggles to categorize such existential visual phenomena. The ship's AI projects theoretical routes through the Singularity's potential topology. The models are dynamic, showing real-time calculation adjustments. The Odyssey crew studies the projections, seeking an exit vector. The gravitational lens distorts the background into sharper, more numerous curves. The view shifts, revealing the universe compressed into narrow bands of light. The light itself appears to be flowing like a massive, slow river. Plasma streams collide with the ship's kinetic barrier. The shields absorb the energy, creating a beautiful but violent defensive curtain. Each collision sends internal warning pulses throughout the structure. Light refracts around the hull, showing distorted views on all sides simultaneously. It is as if the very air around the ship is thick and viscous. The optical effect is a direct result of the locally curved spacetime. The gravity tears the fabric, proposing shortcuts across unimaginable distances. These threads represent potential wormholes, conduits between disparate regions. The visualization is beautiful but unstable in this extreme gravitational environment. Nebulae clouds take on impossibly vivid colors due to the light compression. The density of light passing through the dust reveals hidden structures. The Odyssey moves through this turbulent, glowing environment. Quantum fluctuations become physically manifest as three-dimensional structures. These patterns represent information existing at the smallest scales. The ship's analytical systems attempt to stabilize the visualization. Tidal streams flow like rivers of compressed light around the vessel. The computer calculates the narrow window between these gravitational currents. Precision flight is the only defense against being pulled apart. All distant light converges towards the gravitational center. This convergence illustrates the ultimate fate of light near the singularity. The visual effect is absolute, focused power. Possibilities branch infinitely based on minuscule initial conditions. Each overlay represents a potential reality that could have been. The view slowly merges back into the single, observed reality. The hull endures bombardment from the high-energy spatial environment. The shield system actively manages energy dispersion to prevent hull breach. The constant, low-level assault is taxing, yet manageable. One star, viewed across warp spacetime, occupies several positions at once. This visual paradox confirms the extreme curvature near the black hole's influence. The universe is fragmented by the gravity well. Mathematical models are projected to explain the encountered phenomena. The complexity of the gravity equations highlights the difficulty of navigation. The Odyssey crew studies these complex, glowing diagrams. Incoming high-energy particles form intricate fractal signatures upon detection. The signature implies higher-order structures in the background radiation. This pattern data is automatically logged by the ship's central core. Pushing past the visible edge, the plasma surrounding the hull reaches critical intensity. The heat and light are immense, the ultimate test for the shielding. The ship's shields strain to maintain their integrity against the photonic onslaught. Disturbances in the flow of cause and effect create visible ripples in space. These ripples suggest moments where the future influences the past locally. The Odyssey navigates through the complex topology of time distortion. The entire region around the Singularity radiates tremendous gravitational influence. The light is so intense it overwhelms the visual sensor spectrum. The power of the object dominates the scene. Glimpses of other potential homes flicker into brief visibility. They fade instantly, proving their non-existence in this reality stream. The crew witnesses the fragility of their own timeline. The camera reveals the true, spherical geometry of spacetime distortion. The effect is dizzying, illustrating gravity as a total spatial domination. The Odyssey remains positioned carefully, outside the critical boundary. The ship's energy matrix resonates with the ambient cosmic energies. Internal lighting dims and brightens in response to shield load. The structural integrity sensors register the stress. Distant clusters are smeared across vast swathes of the sky. The light from these remote objects is compressed by the massive foreground object. The visual manipulation conveys the power exerted on light over cosmic distances. From our viewpoint, the universe seems to be caught in a massive cosmic whirlpool. The rotational pull of spacetime translates to visual motion. The Odyssey fights the perceived rotational torque. The theoretical limits of spacetime elasticity are visualized as fissures opening. These fissures show where gravity has overpowered metric stability. The structural integrity of the known universe seems threatened. From a distance, the black hole is the only structure in a universe of light arcs. The overwhelming gravitational lensing compresses all background information. The Odyssey prepares for the final crossing maneuver. The theoretical path through the Singularity is visualized as pure energetic flow. No recognizable matter exists here, only fundamental forces coalesced. This state exists outside of time and conventional space. The ship is engulfed by the final layer of dense cosmic medium. The lighting effects highlight the ship's desperate traverse through chaotic matter. The hull temperature spikes dangerously high. The potential realities begin to retreat as we escape the strong gravity. The universe consolidates back into a single, linear track. The sensory input returns to singular reality. The final release from intense warping leaves optical residue on the hull. These transient halos mark the last vestiges of spacetime compression. The ship shakes off the last of the gravitational drag. Looking back, the black hole is a perfect void framed by impossibly curved light. The immense mass warps everything visible in the surrounding region. The crew has survived the event horizon boundary. We have emerged on the other side, into a universe that is subtly, profoundly changed. The familiar constellations are subtly altered by the journey through warped time. The experience leaves humanity forever changed by cosmic perspective. Journey Beyond Time concludes.